Namaste, everyone, and welcome. So here we are for the week of preparation before Wesak Festival, the most powerful full moon of the year, which is next Sunday, May 15 here in Southern California, and the rest of the world is May 16 if you're on the other side of the world. So before we start, let's ask for blessing, shall we? To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, and spiritual helpers, present to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahaguji Mailing, we thank you for divine light, divine love. Thank you for mercy, compassion, purifying light, and soothing, healing energy. We thank you in full faith, so be it. All right, so most of you know that we don't have the anchor light in the morning because we have the 7-day purification as well as the healing this morning. So we have the evenings only, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This is for the ones who cannot join us for whatever reason for the full 7 days. So we want to make sure you're also well served and you're able to prepare yourself for the powerful full moon that's available for everyone on Sunday, right? Sunday, Monday morning. So just a quick reminder, the reason we're doing this is to make sure that, you're already on the spiritual path, to make sure that you're able to prepare yourself, to purify your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical body, which that part you have to do on your own. Obviously, I can't help you from here, because it's so important for us, as we're on the spiritual path, to really, let's just say, prepare our system, widen the channel, clean the channel, so these higher frequencies can come through us. And the whole idea with Wesak, without going into too much detail, I'll cover that during the Wesak festival. There's about a 45-minute talk before the actual meditation, and because those were the instructions of the Lord Buddha, not the 45 minutes, but to talk about the Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, to prepare, humanity, actually other beings too, but let's not get into that because some of you might get weirded out. Okay? So it's just basically to prepare humanity to be able to continue evolving. All right? So the teachings are very simple, and that's where the power is. And I just want to start there because a lot of people say, I have read so many books on this, and I've studied volumes and volumes. That's great. That's wonderful. We always say studying is good, sharpens the mind. At the same time, you have to ask yourself a simple question. Is what you're studying being applied? Anybody can be a walking encyclopedia. In fact, why do you have to study? You can just press a button and you have it. But you see, when you study, you absorb, you process, then you apply. If that doesn't work, then, you might as well just be a hard drive. Make sense? And so that's one thing I love about what that Lord Buddha taught. It's simple and immediately applicable. So what we're going to do is this, just to give you like an overall plan. The 7-day purification, lecture, and meditation, plus the 2 healings, which is one in the morning and one after we finish this, those go more in depth. But I want to make sure that everyone else who, again, for whatever reason you cannot join, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. California time, we'll do our best to cover as much material as we can. It's not going to be anywhere as in-depth because of the time and also the amount of energy we can put in, because that one's at least an hour and a half each session, okay? But I want to make sure you have enough that you can work with. So, here we go. The 4 Noble Truths taught by the Lord Buddha is, number 1, there is suffering in life. Not that all life is suffering. I know some of you going, well, I thought that all life is suffering. It's as simple as this. If all life is suffering, you're screwed. Then there's no point in trying to learn what caused it. There's no point in understanding that, it can end, but it's not going to last long because everything is suffering. And the last part is, why even wasting your time trying to figure out how to fix that suffering? Make sense? So it's actually a mistranslation. It is not that all life is suffering. There is suffering in life. Clear? Now, the easiest way to understand it, at least for me, this was the easiest way for me to understand it, is just imagine suffering is an ailment or a sickness. You go to a doctor, the first thing they're going to ask you is, let's figure out what caused this. Right? So even if you fell, you broke your hip, they're not going to just say, you broke your hip, okay, let's fix it. They're going to go, what happened? What caused it? Because from there, they can tell, how bad is the break? How severe is the break? And, what do you do in your lifestyle that might cause it to happen again? Same thing, if you get a cough or a cold, whatever it is, they have to diagnose. To diagnose, you need to find out what the origin. So what the Lord Buddha is teaching is the same. There is suffering. There's an ailment. The ailment's called suffering. Oh, what are the origins? What caused it? Let me see. Based on this, we can cure it. That's number 3. And number 4, how to cure it. What's the medicine? That's why Lord Buddha has been said to be the great physician. Not to heal physical ailments, but to metaphorically heal the ailment called suffering. So, to go through this quickly, and that way we want to make sure we do the meditation and preparation. What are the causes of this suffering? There are many of them. We'll just cover the key ones. Number 1, unwholesome, unregulated, excessive desires. Unwholesome, unregulated. And if there's unregulated, it becomes excessive. Desire. See, oftentimes in the Buddhist tradition, you hear the saying, the cause of all suffering is desire. That's actually not a correct statement. If you have a person who has the desire to serve God, are you telling me that's wrong too? Oh, I have a desire to be a better person. Is that wrong too? See, sometimes it drives me nuts. There's these people, they just... They don't think. They just read something, they go, they start, life is suffering, you're screwed. So why bother doing anything? Why bother getting out of bed? And then from there, all desire is bad. Yeah, right. So you're telling me it's not good to desire to be a better person, to love your family, to make a living. None of that is good. So you should be desireless. Well, what do you bother getting out of bed? It is the unwholesome, unregulated, excessive desire. That's the problem. So let's just pick one. Let's say you love exercising. Let's use that because, what's wrong with that? Okay. Number 1, your exercise routine is wrong. The technique you're doing is hurting your back. Right there and then, it's unwholesome. And not only that, but you insist on keep doing it. So it's unregulated. So let's say, I'll just make this up. This is just to kind of tell you how ridiculous it is. So there's a particular technique that you're, lifting weights, and you're doing it in such a way that it's actually affecting your spine in a negative way. And you know it. But, you can't help yourself. You just need to do that exercise. And not only that, you keep doing it. So it's doing more damage. And then, you do it more than anybody would ever do, even if there's nothing wrong with them. That's it. You're dead. Well, not dead, but you get the idea. So what if it's a desire for cake? Let's just pick another one. Cake, same thing. Is it wrong to eat cake? No. But what if you want it so much that it's just becomes an obsession? That's all you think of. Every meal you're eating cake. And you keep eating it. It's so much of it, more than what your body can handle, but you can't help yourself. So it's unregulated. And you eat so much, it's excessive. So that desire to eat cake is the cause of suffering, not the cake itself. So one cause of suffering is what? Unregulated, unwholesome, excessive desire. That's it. That's one. Second cause, unrealistic expectation that things will always be good. No, I know you guys are going to go, I can't believe you're saying that. We're supposed to be positive thinking. Okay, hold on, relax. Some of you like to quote, some of you go, yeah, but everything has to be positive. Everything will be well. Even though your life is exploding, your finances are going to the toilet, you say, oh yeah, everything is good. That's called denial. So listen carefully. The way it was explained to me by my teacher is as simple as this. It's your mindset, how you understand this. Because impermanence or accepting impermanence is your key to permanence. Write it down. Accepting impermanence is the key to permanence. All right? Listen carefully. Whether you like it or not, change happens. So there's the law of change. You don't like it, it doesn't care. Some people say, oh, I don't believe in it. You're screwed. Sometimes I talk to these people. I wonder how they live through life. Oh, I don't believe it. I don't want this. But the facts are in their face. So that's why I make a joke. I go, I don't want to keep talking because I don't want to change your mind with facts. So one, whether you like it or not, there's this thing called the law of change, not our opinion of change. Number two, whether you like it or not, here in the US right now, it's spring. I hope I got this right. I screwed it up early this morning. Spring, then after that is summer, after that is autumn, after that is, am I missing something? Winter, and then spring again. All right. Whether I like it or not, I want it to always be spring. It ain't happening. Whether you like it or not, it's going to move on to the next season. Right? There are cycles. There are cycles. Now it's evening here. Whether I like it or not, even if I throw a tantrum, at some point it's going to be morning. I don't want it to be morning. It's going to get to morning. Whether I like it or not, it's going to get to noon and so on and so on. There's the law of cycles. There's life cycles. There's business cycles. There's economic cycles. There are cycles. Period. Get over it. It is what it is. Listen to me carefully. So there's the law of change, law of cycles. And the third law, which is called the law of consequence or the law of karma. At any given time, every individual, you're creating a cause. You're thinking a certain way, you're talking a certain way, you're moving or feeling a certain way. So all those are creating energies. That's why karma is basically action and reaction. So imagine you alone are creating different causes, which will have different consequences or effects. So is your brother, your sister, everybody around you. Imagine your family, your city, your country, the entire earth. So you have billions and billions of people creating causes at any given time. Some of them are good, some of them are dumb. Make sense? Because of so many causes that everybody's creating, something will change. So there's that law of consequence that will cause things to be impermanent. That's because there's cycles going on and things are changing constantly. That's why things can never be permanent. Now, here's the interesting part. The Lord Buddha said the cause of suffering, another one, is unrealistic expectations that favorable conditions will stay the same. So if you're smart, you go, life is good, finances are good, health is good, relationship, everything's good. You realize, but everything's subject to change. Since everything's subject to change, I might as well prepare myself for it. It's going to change. So if I'm smart, since finances are not always going to be as good as they are now, maybe I should save and invest. Don't spend everything. Make sense? Or, here's another way to look at it. Since everything's subject to change, things are terrible. Things are and COVID happened, this happened. So you think, oh man. Then you also use the same law. Everything's subject to change. If you're suffering, that suffering will not last forever. Because there's the law of change and the law of cycles. Then you go, with that in mind, I should start thinking, okay, things could change. The question is, how do I speed up this process? I can't tell it not to change. I cannot tell it not to have financial seasons. But what if I improve my chances? Whatever money I make, I'll be very frugal. I'm not going to spend it all. And then I'll be very, very wise in how I spend money. And just weather the crisis, because this will change eventually. So, while the next person who does not follow that rule says, oh, I'm screwed anyway, so why should I bother saving? And what's saving another extra $10 a month? I might as well spend it. In your case, you go, well, it's still $10 I have. If I saved it and I spend it over useless things, and that $10 could be another meal, $10 could be part of it is I can save for whatever reason. I could be something I could pay for a course, an online course that's very cheap that I can learn, that I could probably improve my skills. You see, law of change, you can't do anything. Law of cycles, you can't do anything. Law of consequence, you can do something. So by understanding this, you go, oh, okay. So even though everything's subject to change, cycles, and consequence, part of us have the ability to lessen the suffering by the choices we make. The choices we make is basically based on the law of consequence, or law of karma, not your opinion of karma. Make sense? So again, this is just a crash course that I want to make sure that as we lead to Wesak, the ones who cannot join us for the 7 day, at least you are being fed. Okay? So, there is suffering in life. Not all is suffering. What are the origins? And this suffering can end. How? Number one, you wait it out. Everything is subject to change. I remember I had the night, what do you call this? I had the night shift when we had our babies. Okay? First daughter, second daughter, I had the night shift. And man, night shift means when the baby cries, at some point you wait it out, then you have to get up and either feed them, change your diapers, whatever. I had the night shift, right? She had the morning shift, the day shift. And then I'm going, and I remember the doctor said, don't pick up the baby right away, because if you do, a baby gets used to it, and before you know it, they control you. Something to that effect. I'm giving you my version. So I said, okay. So here I am. That's a night shift, right? Okay, I'm not going to get up. I'm going to resist the temptation. If any of you are fathers, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because somehow God has made the voice of babies and children at a certain frequency that irritates the heck out of men. I don't know if you know that. That's statistics, okay? It's just the way it is. I'm like, I want to really make that noise stop. It was tough. And then I decided to apply Buddhism. Everything is subject to change. She can't cry forever. Everything is subject to cycles. Her respiratory system can only produce sound so long. At some point, it has to go to the cycle of rest and then do it again. Oh man, it was tough. But that's how I got rid of it. I go, I get up. No. Everything is subject to change. I'm not going to suffer anymore because I understand everything is subject to change and cycles. And so therefore, I choose not to get my butt out of bed. It was tough. First night, man, it was tough. I have to keep telling myself, everything's subject to change. Second, by the time we get to the third, fourth night, she stopped by herself. I know it sounds ridiculous, so trivial for some of you if you think that it's crazy. Hey, it worked for me, so who cares? And that part of it boils down to the choices we make determine how long the suffering lasts. Here's another example. Somebody insulted you. What's the first thing most people do? Unless you're already a saint. Oh yeah, you are also a piece of bleep, 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 all the explicatives, right? And then, guess what? You're pissed off, you're angry. And then if you didn't forgive, you didn't let it go. And then after the whole thing was done, they're not in front of you again anymore. You go, oh man, Doug is such a jerk. He's a piece of work, man. Blah, blah. And you keep going. 2 hours later, you're still thinking about it. You meet someone, a friend. I met this guy. He's such a... And you went on it again. By that evening, you went home. If you're married, if you have whoever at home, you go, today at work, this guy did this. Mm-hmm. The next day, or that night, you can't sleep because you keep thinking about it. So, your body feels terrible. In the morning, somehow your body got some sleep, woke up, didn't get much sleep, and you're so, see, that guy is such a piece of... Man, the explicatives get worse. It's all his fault. That's why I can't... my body's so tired and it's going to screw up my entire day. That's his fault. So you walk into work. I think you're getting what I'm saying. And you just dragging it. And this went on for days and days. Okay, let's not even talk about weeks. Let's just say 3-4 days. You do realize your suffering went from whatever it is all the way to, let's say, 3 days. Different scenario. What if you thought, when they insulted you, they're upset and everything, instead of getting angry, upset, you go, wait, first of all, this is not my crap. This is not my anger. It's his. Nothing to do with me. So why should I accept it? That's one possibility. Or you go, maybe the reason he was nasty maybe he had a bad day. Maybe he lost a deal. Maybe he had a fight with his spouse. Or maybe somebody died. Maybe any of those. Or maybe this is happening because there's a lesson I've not yet learned. Maybe this is a mirror for me that maybe I've treated other people like this. The universe is just kind of saying, hey, you, now you know what it feels like when people treat you badly. Yeah. Now I know how it feels when I did the same thing to someone a few months ago. When I screamed and yelled at them and insulted them. Wow, that's how it feels. Huh? Okay, lesson learned. So from there you go. Okay, I'll let this go because I'll move on. Because those things probably is what's going on in this person's life. If any of them were true, who am I to judge this person? Forgive, let go, cut. So let's say that entire process for you took 15 minutes. 15, 1-5. You know, after that 15 minutes, no more suffering. So instead of 3 days, no sleep, in 15 minutes, game over. You decide. Yeah, but you don't understand. I'm entitled to my anger. Okay, go for it. Keep suffering. Enjoy your misery. Who are you trying to convince me? Me or yourself? How long a person suffers is dependent on the response. You've heard of Viktor Frankl. Pain is inevitable, suffering is an option. Between stimulus and response is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. This guy, I don't think any of you have gone through as bad as he can. His family was killed during, in the concentration camps. He was, by the Nazis. He suffered there. He finally got out, and still he was able to maintain his positive disposition. And he said, or to quote many other teachers, Tony Robbins is one of them, pain happens, suffering is a choice. To quote my teacher, Master Chokoksi, he said, if you just simply forgave, suffering would not have continued. But you choose to be angry, you choose to keep that anger and resentment, so you keep suffering. Now I'll put in my 2 cents. The person you're angry with, number one, don't know you're pissed off and they don't really care. So how smart it is to keep that anger. And you've heard me say this before, I'll say it again, just to kind of put the whole thing in proper perspective. Anger, if you don't release it, leads to resentment. Resentment, you don't let it go, leads to hatred. Hatred, you don't let it go, leads to vindictiveness. You want to get even now. You don't let it go, it turns into maliciousness. Not only do you want to get even, now you want to hurt them. Then maliciousness turns into ruthlessness. In other words, anything goes. As you keep spiraling down, that negative karma keeps building and building and building. It's a choice. You can say, okay. Anyway, everybody makes mistakes. I've had my share of screw-ups. I'll let the matter pass. Let me focus on the good things in my life. So, noble truth number 3, suffering can end. But most people don't think, okay, it can end, but nobody said, how fast? How long? That's the beauty of it, because part of noble truth number 2 is the law of consequence, the law of karma. We initiate. And from that, initiating that action, thought, and emotion determines how long we suffer or how little we suffer. That's it. Most people don't like to hear it because that means they have to sit there and go, but that person is a bad person. If I don't stay angry with them, they will abuse people. Well, we shared this with you before. Differentiate between inner forgiveness and outer forgiveness. Inner forgiveness means everybody messes up. As a soul, everybody's learning. Okay, I forgive you. Externally, you might have to put up a face that you're pissed off, or maybe sue them, or get a restraining order just to maintain order. So they don't hurt you, they don't hurt other people, and they know it's not okay to be like that. But internally, you're not going to boil and rot inside. Now, why are we talking about this? We're leading up to Wesak, the most powerful full moon of the year. If you still have that strong seed of anger, resentment, hatred in you, good luck. You're going to pour fertilizer on it, it's going to grow more. That's why we're letting you realize, hey, you, wake up. In fact, that's why the Lord Buddha is called the awakened one. Because as we realize that we are a spiritual being that creates these feelings, thoughts, and actions in response to environment, we are awake to who we really are. Oh, I know that. You don't have to tell me that. I know that. Really? How do you live your life? Exactly. A lot of us fall asleep. Then something happens, we wake up. Right? Or, if you're serious about your spiritual path, every time you do your meditation, every time you get to that part of silence or nothingness, you're not thinking anything, you're not feeling anything, your body's not experiencing anything, any sensations, you're just being. Human being. At that point, you get a glimpse of who you are. You're awake to yourself. The question is, how long do you keep that? That's what makes the difference. So imagine the Buddha being awake 24 hours a day, and not only to awake who he is, he's awake to every soul, every being he meets. I can't claim that, can you? Make sense? So suffering can end. And of course, the fourth one, we talk about this. Let's see, let me go back to it. The medicine. So suffering is the ailment. Try to figure out what caused this ailment. Oh, this ailment can be cured, but remember, you want to cure it quickly, not a long time. And so immediately, you want to cure this ailment quickly, that suffering, then you apply the medicine, which is the Eightfold Path. Now, don't get into this, I don't believe in medicine, I believe in holistic. Get out. If you're stuck with that, we're screwed. But you get the idea. It's a metaphor. Clear? So this Eightfold Path, I'll just go through it quickly. This morning, we went through it in more detail. So again, if you're part of that 7-day purification, we went through it in more detail and we'll continue to do so. In these 3 nights, we're trying to pack 7 days of teachings and meditation in 3 nights. Of course, I can't cover everything. I'll do whatever I can, all right? Because I know some of you, for whatever reason, you can't join us for those. I want to make sure that you're served. So, the Eightfold Path. Right viewpoint, right thoughts, speech, action, livelihood, spiritual effort, awareness, and oneness. Okay, I'll give you a clue. If we get the first one wrong, throw the rest out of the window. The first one is the most important one. Right viewpoint on what's going on. That's why you see there on the notes, if you're on Instagram, then you just have to use your clairvoyance, look at my screen. So right viewpoint is the first one. That's connected to the virtue of accurate perception. From there, right thoughts, right speech, right action, and so on, is classified under right expression. In other words, when you look at a certain situation, how you perceive that situation will determine what thoughts go into your mind after. How you feel, how you speak, how you act. So, by the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you, all those, you do it repeatedly, it becomes a habit. A habit becomes your lifestyle. But it all starts where? How you perceive something. And the biggest thing the Lord Buddha want to teach us is right viewpoint means you have to be able to observe correctly. Careful observation, correct interpretation. Now, how many times has it happened where We only got part of the facts and we made our own conclusion. A case in point, I know some of you probably don't remember this. Your bodies are too young. There's a show many years ago on TV, Three's Company. You guys remember? Suzanne Summers, John Ritter. I forget the third one. Anyway, there's three of them. And the whole show, it's hilarious, it's funny. It's based on one simple premise. You know what it is? Inaccurate perception. In other words, they see somebody, these two people talking. Oh, that means they're having an affair. No, they're having a business. They're having a business negotiation. Yeah, but they're really into it. And so based on that, the entire show, yeah, but I thought you were doing this. I'll give you an example. It's hilarious. One time, I was one of our students. We're just having lunch, right? So I was talking to him. Hey, how are you doing? Talking. And then he goes like this. Guess what? What? See those two people there? Yeah? What's going on? I think he's giving him a psychic reading. I'm going, he's giving you a psychic reading? What? How'd you come up with that conclusion? See, look. The way he's talking to that person and he's closing his eyes, moving hands like this, he's giving him a psychic reading. So I go, really? That is his viewpoint, right? So I said, oh, and then I go, and I observe more. Remember? Observe. And also, I understand Chinese. This guy doesn't. No. He's describing the menu and how the food is cooked. Yeah, I thought it was psychic reading. No, he's describing the menu. Get the point? Without the first one, everything's screwed up. Right viewpoint. From right viewpoint, then your thoughts will be right. Your speech would be right. Your action be right. So if we went by what this guy said, oh, he's giving me a reading. So we start thinking, I wonder if we can get a reading too. Or maybe this is it. In other words, our thoughts go that way. And we decide to get up and talk to the guy. Excuse me, can you give me a reading? They're going to go, are you crazy? Based on what? Wrong viewpoint. By the way, I have a little tip for you. One of the simplest ways to have right viewpoint is keep your mouth shut. What do you mean? See, most people, they look at something, blah, blah, blah. Some of you know what I'm talking about. The ones who are, let's just say, more aware, they don't make any conclusions. They observe. That's what we keep going back to. Are you the observer or not? They observe. Observe. I learned it from my teacher. One time we had a meeting with all the students. We had lunch, like 15, 20 people on the table. No, not that many. A round table in Chinese restaurant, I think maximum 15. These were their instructors and so on. So I was sitting there. And that's all my teacher did was throw out a question. Okay, how do you think we should accelerate the spreading of these teachings? And everybody's talking, yeah. Everybody's all their ideas, and before they're arguing. I was about to put in my 2 cents. You know what he said? He actually touched it. Don't say anything. I'm going, Master? He said, don't do anything. Don't say anything. Okay. I mean, I wanted to, because some of the stuff they come with is so interesting. I was go, and he said, don't say anything. Okay, so I was quiet. Make a long story short, after the whole thing was done, they came up with some conclusion. And then when we were in the car, he said something to me. You see, the key is to observe. You let them talk about it, go about round and round and round. You just keep it quiet and observe. By observing, you know who has better ideas than others. You get to see who is more intelligent than others. You know who just likes to make noise. Then that's how you pick your people. The ability to observe. That's why right viewpoint is connected to what? Careful observation. You cannot be observing if you're yakking. If your mind is noisy, you cannot think. You cannot observe. So you observe. Very interesting. Oh, very interesting. That's why you will notice as a person evolves, as the soul evolves, they know when to speak and when not to speak. But they're continuously observing. They don't emotionally respond like, oh my God, ah. They don't do that. They just observe. Ah. And they go, okay, I think this time is good for me to experience. Oh, I love you, honey. Then you get into it. But he was observing, observe. Ah, okay, I think now's a good time to express my love. Okay, let's do it. I think it's not your time. I know some of you going, yeah, but I like to go with the flow. Yeah, let me remind you, dead fish, go with the flow. The observer is the soul. Right viewpoint. From there, you will know how to keep thinking about this subject. By thinking and feeling, you know what to say to right people, you know how to act. You add all those three together, thoughts, words, actions, becomes habits over and over again, it becomes your lifestyle, a livelihood. Then it goes to spiritual effort and endeavor and so on and so on, the different Eightfold Path. So I'm sharing this with you just as an introduction, okay? Then on Wednesday night, we'll go deep into right speech, no, right thoughts, right speech, right action. Again, I'm compressing eightfold path into 3 nights, but at least you got the key parts. The ones who are with me in the earlier session, the morning session, we'll dive more into each session is at least an hour and a half. Okay, this morning was a little shorter. We don't want to, make your brain explode yet. Now, the ones who still want to join us, just want to let you know it's still open. We will close the 7-day purification Wednesday. In other words, you can still register to Wednesday because we noticed that in the past 2 years, people can still catch up because we leave the videos up there. So you can still study Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. By the time it gets to Thursday, most people cannot catch up because we pack it with so much information, people cannot handle it. Okay? So just go to mastercode.org. I think that's still there. Then you go to the process so you can join us tonight and tomorrow. So we're having 2 healing sessions, morning session, evening session because of the time zones. But the purification meditation lecture is only 1 session, and we leave it there, and you can study it. We do the meditations and so on and so on. All right? So I hope you got something out of it. I know it sounds like a lot of information, but in my humble opinion, there are many spiritual teachings out there, and all of them are good. All of them have the same goal, to help us evolve and be better souls. But the Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path are truly life lessons, something that it makes sense, that's applicable to help you with your relationships, your health, your finances, and especially your spiritual connection. Okay, so let's do our meditation because, in 7:30 California time, I have the second healing session. All right, shall we? Take your left hand, tap your heart center. Take your right hand, tap your crown. Put your hand like this. I am that I am. I'm not the body, I'm not the emotion, not the thoughts. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. That is the real I. Not the body, not the emotions, not the thoughts. Those are all my tools. The thoughts and emotions are simply my creations. I am the soul, the mover, the feeler, and the thinker. That is my true nature. Be still. I am connected in one to my higher soul. In other words, I, the soul, am part of a greater whole. I am connected in one to the divine spirit, the divine spark within me, which is part of the universal fire called God. I'm one with God, I'm one with all. There is only oneness. Now open your hands in blessing. Be aware of your heart and your hands. Imagine the earth in front of you. From your heart, imagine beautiful pink light flowing down through your hands and filling the entire earth. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred anywhere in the world, anywhere within me, within my home, my workplace, within my city, country, anywhere in the earth, let me sow unconditional love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. And just silently, just follow, just say, to whoever I have hurt intentionally or not, to whoever I've hurt, in however way I've hurt you, and whenever I have hurt you, this lifetime, previous lifetime, doesn't matter. To whoever I've hurt, I humbly ask for your forgiveness. I've learned from my mistakes. I humbly ask for your forgiveness. Thank you. And I also forgive myself. Now send them lots of love, beautiful pink light. So be it. Next, whoever who have hurt me, to whoever who have hurt me, we are all children of God. We are all growing and evolving. I have my share of mistakes and learn from them. So can you. God's peace and love be with my soul. God's peace and love be with you. To all who have hurt me, however way you've hurt me, and whenever you've hurt me, may you be blessed with peace and love. You are completely forgiven. Go in peace. I release you. Now follow me. Cut, release, cut, release, cut, release. Now flood them with more pink light. May you be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. May you be healed of your pain, sorrow, and suffering. Deep down, I know the reason you were hurtful is because you are suffering inside. May you be blessed. May you be healed. May your soul be healed. And may you be blessed with spiritual evolution. May you also learn from your mistakes and grow. So be it. Namaste. I release you. Cut, release, cut, release, cut, release. Don't you feel lighter? Now continue blessing the earth with beautiful pink light. Where there's darkness, let me sow light. Where there's sadness, let me sow joy. Be aware of your heart and your hands. Fill the earth with peace, with light, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and with faith, with love, with light and joy. So be it. So be it. Now be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown. Exhale. And just be aware of your crown. Just say, our souls are one, our spirits are one. From the heart of God, through my spirit and through my soul, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with love and kindness. May all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. May all be blessed without exception. So be it. Just fill the earth with beautiful golden light. May all be blessed. So be it. Now be aware of your heart, be aware of your crown. Take a deep breath. Exhale, imagine even brighter golden light pouring out of our hands together, filling the entire earth. From the center of the heart of God, through our spirit, through our soul, through our entire being, may every person, every being, without exception, in the higher worlds, middle worlds, even the lower worlds, may every sentient being, every direction and every dimension be blessed with God's unconditional love and kindness. Let all be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. May all be blessed with understanding, with harmony, goodwill, and especially the willingness to do good. May all be blessed without exception. Bless every country with peace, with love, especially the area of Ukraine and Russia. Let the people be blessed with peace, love, kindness, and divine protection. So be it. Bless your country that you live in with peace, with love, and divine order. So be it. So be it, and so it is. May all be blessed. Now gently lower your hands. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue in the roof of your mouth. Imagine a beautiful golden flame floating above your head. Be aware of the love within your heart. Send a stream of love from your heart up to the crown and into that golden light. And stay there. Just be still. You are that light. Not the body. You are the soul. Not any of your emotions. You are the soul. Not any of your thoughts. You are the soul. Be still. Silently just say, I am that light. I am that being of light. And listen. Om. Om. Allow your awareness to just drift deeper and deeper into that space before the next Om. Om. Be still. Be aware of the inner stillness. Be aware of the nothingness. And simply let go and let things be. Now, let go. Gently, slowly, very gently and slowly. Move your fingers, move your toes. Very gently and slowly come back to your physical body. Raise your hands again in blessing. Make sure your legs are in cross so as the energy is being drained out of us, the negative energy, it'll flow out smoothly to be replaced by higher frequency. Okay? Visualize the earth in front of you. Bless the earth with golden light. Let the entire earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let the entire earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings be to Mother Earth. So be it. Now imagine the people you love in front of you. Fill them with golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with happiness, with abundance and prosperity, and with spirituality. So be it. Okay, let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother. Thank you. To all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. To my beloved teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahagu Jumailing, we thank you for divine light, divine love. Thank you for your guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. We thank you in full faith. So be it. Okay. So we had the lesson, we had the meditation. So we look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. And the ones who still want to register, sign up for the 7-day purification. Remember, there's two parts. There's two packages. There's the purification, which is the lecture and meditation. And for the ones who want to include healing, so we go to, like today, we're working on releasing anger. This morning we did it, and then in about 37 minutes, we're doing the healing aspect, healing again for releasing anger. Some people do one, some people do both. It depends on how much you want to get rid of. Okay? So anyway, you just go to that link there. You can search it wherever platform you are. The link should be there. You can still register and get the email on time so that you can join us in 40 minutes if you want to. Regardless, tomorrow morning, the ones who can't make it tonight, tomorrow morning, we're doing healing for anxiety. And then part 2, the purification, then tomorrow night. And Wednesday, the ones who are not part of it, will see each other again. Well, I see you energetically, you see me physically. Okay. Namaste, everyone. Thank you for allowing me to be here to serve you. And may you be enlightened with God's love, mercy, and divine light. Namaste. And we will see you either tonight, tomorrow, or Wednesday. Take good care. God bless.